Let's talk about functions. What are functions and types of functions we can look into in this video. A function is a block of code that performs a specific task in JavaScript, and this being called from other parts of our code. Or you can say functions are used to encapsulate piece of code that can be called multiple times with different inputs. Basically, functions are reusable piece of code which allow you to organize your code and make it called in many places of your code. And we use function keyword to define functions in JavaScript. So the way we do it, let's say function name, hello. Then if you want, you can pass parameters or just have a body for function. What we do here is we just say console.log, say hello, or save it and see what happens. It's not printing anything, right? We're not calling hello world functions. So the way we do it, we simply use its name followed by parentheses. I can just say copy this, paste it, and end of the statement. If you refresh it, you see this hello world because we are calling the hello function like this. I can do this multiple times wherever I need to print hello world. When we call this function, it executes the code inside this function body. In this case, just log the message hello world to the console. But we can have like big functionality where you can have so many lines of code and do so many actions inside it. Let's say I want to greet someone. Instead of saying hello world, I want to greet someone by passing the name as a parameter to this function. Okay, let's say function greet, and the parameter we pass it name. Inside body we say console.log, let's say hello plus the parameter name plus we are concatenating all these, then end of the statement. And once this is done, say greet and then say John. What happens now? When you refresh it, you see hello John. See hello John. So we have defined a function greet that takes one parameter called name, and when we call this function with the name, it will log a message hello name, the name which we pass as a parameter to the console. When we call a greet function with the name, it logs the message hello John with to the console, where this name is replaced the parameter whatever we send to the function, right? Okay, let's take another example. Let's say a function will do some calculation, a square. Okay, we pass the number and as a parameter, and we return a number into number. Okay, so what we are doing here is we have defined a function called square and it takes a parameter number. When we call it, it returns a result of multiplying number by itself, right? So to use the return value of this function, we have to assign this to a variable. Let result and call the square and pass the number, let's say 10. Okay, now refresh the page and see nothing is doing, but we have this result already getting back. Let's do console.log, then result, save it. See 10 into 10, 100, right? Or we can do plus or add, change it to add and call the same thing. You can do all that, so I'll show that example as well. Function add a comma b, because we have to pass two number to add, and then return a plus b. So here we are passing two parameter into add function. Then the way we call it, console.log add 5, 6. Let's say another output 11. We can call this way, or we can put it in a variable and pass it to console log. We can do the both. We can also change this function and assign to variable. Let's say I take this function, okay, square, I'll just comment this for now. Okay, so instead of doing and putting it as separate, instead of doing this, I can say I can let square equal to this way, and console log square and pass the parameter value. Now 25, right? Fine to fine. Or you can do, we don't want to use function keyword at all. We can say parameter and use arrow notation is equal to and greater than. So this is called arrow function. So we can do this way as well. We'll get the same result. To change this one, 36, right? We are getting the same value, 6 into 6, number into number. So this is way we can define function in different ways. I'll just copy this one and do this because I want to show you something else. For now, let's comment this. And so there are different types of functions, right? We use different ways to define a function. The first one is named functions. Okay, these are like most common, the way we defined a function in JavaScript. They are defined using function keyword followed by name. That's why it is called named value function. This will have parameter as well and curly braces for body. This is named function. And this is the second type, anonymous functions. Similar to name function, except they don't have a name. We don't have name here, right? Like add, we're not mentioning any name. They are defined as a variable. Here it is. That is assigned to function expression. This is an example for anonymous functions. Let's uncomment this section now. And I'll change the name to something else. Okay. Square 1. Just renaming it to. So this is third type, arrow function. Arrow functions. These are like basically shortened ways to define function in JavaScript. They're similar to anonymous functions, but with more concise syntax. We don't have a function name, and we are just getting rid of a name and the function keyword and using arrow. And the last one is higher order function. Fourth one, higher order functions. So the way we define is, this basically takes a function as a parameter. Suppose we have function apply operation, okay, number and operation, okay. So it returns operation, which we are passing as a parameter. So we pass in the number for that operation. So operation can be any of this one. It can be add or square, anything. So when we call this function, let result is equal to call apply operation, and we say 5 comma, what do you want to pass as an operation? Square. Let's see what will be the output console. Log result, right? Just refresh it and see the output. See, we are calling both apply operation that internally calls square, because we are returning a square from using apply operations, and this operation is returning a square of 5, that is 25. Please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any video which are helping to learn coding and become a successful programmer. And I'll see you in next video.